Welcome to Yoga Travels with Karen. I'm Karen, and today we're going to practice the Asian squat, as this is commonly called. So there's lots of benefits for doing this particular practice, and I'm going to go through some of those as I teach you a few tricks to perfect it. You don't need any equipment whatsoever, except for maybe some chocks to help you put under your heels at some point, but you can grab those as you need them. So if you're ready, come and join me and we'll get started. So the Asian squat is particularly good for our lower body. It's good for strengthening the muscles and also strengthening the joints. So we have synovial fluid, or synovial oil as it's sometimes called, in all of our joints, and in order to increase the synovial fluid or oil in our joints, or to keep it being produced, we need to move our limbs, move our joints in a range more than 90 degrees. So when we sit down on a chair, there's 90 degrees in our hips and then 90 degrees from our knees down, and also in our ankles. What we need to do is move further than that 90 degrees. So the squat, or the Asian squat, is a particularly good way to achieve this. It also has lots of other benefits, but let's first of all try. So I'm going to stand here and I'll have a little bit of a slope going up behind my heels, so that will help me achieve the actual position. But if you don't have that, then maybe just grab a couple of books or a couple of rolled up towels or a rolled up mat and pop those underneath your heels, and then basically bringing the toes out into a 45-degree angle, and the heels are about hip distance apart. So the toes go out further, heels are maybe a little bit more than hip distance apart. So the closer you put your feet together, the more difficult it is. So if you're quite comfortable, you can just come straight down into the squat, and you can maybe just adjust the body a little bit, find a nice comfortable position. If you're not really comfortable and you can't come down this far just yet, then maybe just in the kitchen, on the kitchen bench, or in the bathroom, on the basin, just holding on to the edge of the bench and then just helping yourself down. Or maybe if you have a partner who wants to practice the Asian squat as well, you can just hold hands and come down together and make your way, work your way all the way down. The key really is to try and keep those heels down. So even if you can't get the heels down, just having something chocked underneath them. When you come up on the toes, it kind of creates a different angle, so it's not always the ideal. So we really want to try and keep the heels down and supported. All right, so once you're in the position, it's just a matter of being comfortable really. So finding a nice even position, you might just place your elbows inside your knees. You can put your hands in prayer if you'd like to have an official yoga pose, I suppose, or otherwise just whatever you're doing. Maybe you're reading a book, maybe you're on your phone looking at social media, whatever it is you're doing. It's a good opportunity at those times just to come into the squat and practice it for a couple of minutes at a time. So a couple of other good things about the squat is, I'll just straighten up a little bit here. It's a little bit difficult on a slope, but you can see my body is actually more straight up and down, so it actually improves your posture as well. So you should try and aim for a nice straight back. Can be a bit tricky at the start when you're still a little bit stiff, maybe in the Achilles and the calves, or even through the glutes and the piriformis muscles, so all the way through here. So very good for stretching out all of those muscles as well. Very good for digestion as well. A good position to help the movements in the digestion system. And a study done in 2014 actually showed that people who are able to stand unassisted from this position, they can stand unassisted, that is not using their hands, not coming onto their knees, maybe not using a chair, but just standing up from this position, that they actually lived 3 years longer than those who could not do it. So lots of benefits to this pose or to this position. And of course, also not forgetting that production of the synovial oils in our joints. So obviously our knees are at more than 90 degrees here, as well as our hips. So moving them beyond a seated position and further than 90 degrees is going to also help produce more synovial fluid, which basically keeps our joints nice and lubricated. And if that oil starts to reduce, our joints can also degenerate. So just another one of the amazing benefits of this position. So give it a go, just try it for 30 seconds at a time, building up your strength, your flexibility, your mobility, and also improving the posture. Give it a go, see how you go.
Your ankles are more than 92, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so.